What's up, guys? It's your girl Matt Cox from A Couture Crafting. I am your quilty BFF. Happy New Year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the things. I want to bring you the 10 most influential things that have happened that I have found in 2024, and then we can go on ahead and graduate to 2025. What a great time to be alive, right? So let's get into it. The first thing that I want to shout out, congratulations to So Becca, who reached 40,000 subscribers. That's a huge jump. There are people who have jumped really, really quickly in this industry, and she is one of them. You guys are loving what she's laying down. I am super proud of her. She is a quilty friend of mine. We don't get a chance to spend as much time together as I'd like, but she's doing some really interesting things. If you're not already subscribed to her, go on over, follow her. She is doing some really cool things, and I'm super, super, super excited for her. Number 2, products that I think were influential, interesting drops that were big during 2024. The first one, you guys know it. It is that Caterpillar mat. Yes, I have a video dedicated to it. I think that's going to be a mat that we see across retreats and classrooms. We're just going to start seeing it everywhere. It's a big ticket item, but it is the kind of thing that I think a lot of people want. It would have been a perfect holiday gift this year. So, maybe you want to put it on your list for next year. I don't know, but that Caterpillar mat was amazing. Something else I want to shout out is that Glow Ruler by Carolina Moore. I have one, and I think that it was probably the most innovative product that came out. Now, it came out the end of 2023, but we had to let it cook in 2024. And people have been running to grab that in droves. It is another, it's not a super, super, super pricey, but it's a notion, like a good notion. And it's different. And if you're like me and you cut a lot of black fabrics, like dark fabrics that are contrast, the fact that I have a ruler that glows is a big deal. The fact that she was able to bring that to fruition, she's big on notions, she's big on designing her own notions, and that's a big one. The execution of that, it was a big deal. So kudos to Carolina Moore. Again, it came out in 2023, the very end of 2023, but now it cooked in 2024, and she's got more sizes and stuff that are coming out. They have perfected what needs to be perfected about it, and I think it's an amazing, innovative ruler. So that's number 2. Number 3, let's talk fabrics. What on earth happened with all these wovens? All of a sudden, it was the world of wovens. Fabulism is my favorite. I got a chance to work with it on that bird that apparently it's a party tutorial that I did. All of a sudden, wovens were just taking off everywhere, and I know for a fact that a couple of other brands are going to jump into the woven world in 2025. So just go on ahead, get ready for it. Maybe touch them, play with them, maybe make some bags out of them. Give them a shot because they are indeed coming. Wovens, wovens, wovens. The next fabric, I think that I think it's called Snack Shack by Moda, was so neat. I think it was such a neat line. I saw it in all the stores. People really gravitated towards it. It's definitely got like a 90s kind of vibe. It looks like Saved by the Bell did fabric and food, but they just nailed it. It was just a perfect collection. The size of the collection was perfect. The fact that they came out with like this waxy, kind of like a jelly kind of canvasy, I don't know. I know I'm saying a lot of different words, but it was just an array of fabrics to choose from, and it was just a great design. Kudos to Moda with that I think it was Snack Shack. Y'all know that one of my favorite lines that also came out was the Noor. During the Halloween season, she nailed it. It was done by Allie Kay, who's also with Moda. That was pretty much the most beautiful Halloween line that I've ever seen. I loved that fabric line. If you didn't get your hands on it, I feel so sorry for you because they were just selling out. Every time I went to go get some or get a little bit more, the bolt was pretty much gone. And so kudos to her for nailing that line. Again, it's called Noor. And if you can get your hands on it, there's some stellar things that people have done with it. I think I did animation ab with some matching pillows or something like that with the fabric. I couldn't get enough of it. Do not be surprised if you see another Halloween project next year with that same fabric because I think I have a little bit more. I think it was delicious. something that happened in the fabric world also that was kind of sad is Alexander Henry, that company decided that it was going to go away. And that is huge because there are no fabrics like Alexander Henry. Alexander Henry was a staple in the quilting community in regards to his fabrics and his designs. And now they're gone. They will no longer be manufacturing fabric for quilting as far as we know right now. And that was a big hit that the quilting industry is going to take. If you can get your hands on some, I suggest you hoard it, because at some point, somebody's going to make something and it's going to go viral and they're going to be like, oh, this is Alexander Henry fabric. And then we won't, I'm telling you guys, Alexander Henry fabric, go get it. Because I don't know that we'll ever see a designer like that again. I just don't, I can't foresee that one. This was interesting. Free Spirit has a lovely long list of designers that I think are amazing. But something that happened is that Anna Maria Horner, which is one of their heavy hitters, jumped ship and went to Northcott. What? If you didn't know, now you know. Her last line with Free Spirit, I think, will be shipping soon. And now everything is with Northcott. She has her own like collective under the Northcott brand, which makes her more of a brand than a designer. She's got a lot happening under that. She's super happy about it. She's so excited. People are excited. She has been the talk of the town. She was definitely the talk of the town at Houston when we saw her with Northcott. We saw what she's coming out with. She's going to be, this is a big move for her. I plan to see her in all of the stores, probably outside of just quilting stores. I think it's about to really elevate. And I'm totally psyched to see what happens for Anna Maria Horner. So yay. I don't know if it's still Anna. I don't know if she still goes by Anna Maria Horner. It might just be Anna. Is it Anna Maria Textiles? I think it's just Anna Maria Textiles right now. We'll look it up. We'll find out. This was big for me. I have my first fabric line coming out in 2025 with Andover Fabrics. It was a really well thought out line, in my opinion. It's a line that you can afford to buy the whole collection. That's quilt stores and people just like you. You're going to love it. There are some that are going to be your favorites. You're going to want me to keep it going. Just trust me. We're going to have a good time with that. We're going to more depth about that when you can actually get your hands on it. But me signing with a fabric company is a really, really, really big deal. I can't wait to show you guys that fabric line and really dive into it in 2025. Next big fabric news is Tula Pink, one of our favorite designers of all time, came out with her 50th line. That's insane. Tula Pink has been designing fabric enough to have her 50th line debut. And I want to say it was called Full Moon Forest. And just the fact that she made it to 50 and it was such a big deal. She was the keynote speaker at Houston. It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. So happy and proud of her. She has really paved the way for people like me to come in behind and do my thing. So shout out to Tula Pink, who had a 50th collection debut in 2024. We'll be able to get our hands on it in 2025. I look forward to seeing what you guys do with it. Again, I think it's called Full Moon Forest 2 or Full Moon Forest. My favorite fabric collection that debuted is by Libs Elliott. It is called Iconic. And Iconic is absolutely the moment. She nailed it. It is so good. I have not seen it in stores yet. I have it. I bought the full line. And when I say the full line, I mean bolts. Because yes, we will be doing kits. Look for that. It's coming from my website. We've got lots and lots and lots of stuff happening in 2025. And I put my money where my mouth is on that collection. If you see me buy a whole collection, you know that I think it's going to be epic. And Iconic is going to be epic. I can't wait to see what people start doing with it. I actually have this collection in my, well, I have it, guys. I just haven't shown you guys it, but things are coming with Iconic. It is going to be a whole moment in 2025. I can see it. Number 4, something else that is insane, absolutely insane, are the price of the top of the line machines. So all of the top of the line machines pretty much debuted at the same price of a whopping $23,000, which is the most expensive that any machine has been since, we've been doing this. Now they all are embroidery and sewing machines. I'm calling them the super machines. M17, which is by Janome, came out first. Then Bernina came in behind it. And then the Brother machine comes in behind it. I have not been able to actually touch and play with the Brother. I have seen the demo that sews, because at first they were just sending a shell around. So I've seen it, but I think they've had a few kinks that they need to work out with that machine. And when it debuts, they really want it to be perfect. So it still hasn't exactly come out, but they've talked about it. You might be able to get it now, but I'm not 100% sure. You were supposed to be able to get them in November, but they didn't ship. They're again fine-tuning what they can, but it's the Brother machine. And I want to compare all three to see which one I think is the best. I kind of know in my mind already, based on some of the things that we talked about and some of the things that we've seen when we went to go chase these machines. But machines are now, the top of the line machines are at $23,000. That is a small car, and it's insane. I know people who have these super machines and love these super machines, and you know, I get it. There is a market for it. Quilters are not known to be frugal per se, but I think the fact that that's where we are right now is definitely worth mentioning. And again, that was number 4. On to number 5. So sad. I am so sad. This year we lost so many amazing quilters, and we lost them all pretty much back to back to back at the same time. We lost Freddie Moran, and I love her stuff. Super colorful, fun, whimsical, artsy. She's amazing. Carol Lyle Shaw was definitely one of my mentors. She works amazingly with ombres, and she has such a contemporary, modern feel to her art. We lost Sarah Bond, who has paved the way for so many quilters. She had a very, very unique style, and she was working all the way up until, you know, she passed. She was still doing classes and stuff. I think I saw her last at QuiltCon, and I'm so sad to have lost her. And then the owner and the founder of Cozy Quilt Creations down in San Diego, you guys probably know, Jordan Fabrics does 90% of her patterns, and we lost her. The store closed temporarily, but there was a new buyer who came in and changed it quite a bit. It's more of a sewing machine store now, but I have hopes that he will do some stuff with it in the future and kind of get it back to what we remember, maybe, hopefully. But again, we lost 4 amazing quilters that really rocked the quilting world. Such amazing contributions to the quilting community. I could not do this video and not talk about it. On to number 6. Nothing really rocked me as far as patterns that have come out in 2024. Now, 2024, nothing really made me feel like that was going to be the pattern of the year. So think about like that snowflake pattern that everybody knows that you see every year. I'm talking about patterns like that, or the Meadowland quilt. Like, we just saw them everywhere. It just exploded. Nothing exploded like that. I can't think of anything that really exploded pattern-wise, but something pattern-wise that did catch my eye. The very end of the year, everybody was doing Advent everything. Advent calendar this, Advent calendar that. But one person snuck in a pattern that I think is going to really hit us hard in 2025, and that's Knot and Thread. It is not a quilt pattern. It is a quilt bag pattern. She has the patchwork duffel, which is probably one of the most known duffel bag patterns ever. It's an easy sew. It's really easy. But there's something very, very special about the design that she just came up with. I want to say it's called Sunshine Sisters. And it's a cute bag. It's going to be on my make list early 2025. And she snuck it in on an Advent calendar. And now it's available. I feel like just did it. Like, she was like day 24 or something along those lines. And I knew it was good when I called my girlfriend, like, hey, did you just see that? She was like, oh, it's in my cart. I was like, I'll do you one better. I'm checking out right now. So I have it. I've looked at the construction. I can't wait to get into it. I don't have a really good plan for it just yet. But check out, I want to say it's Sunshine Sisters. It's got 3 different sizes, and it is the cutest bag ever. Someone else I've kept my eye on, and not just because I've partnered with them, are Fabric Cafe 3-yard quilts. They started doing some stuff that was a little different. Now, we know that they can do 3-yard quilts. I'd even say that they're the leaders of 3-yard quilts. We know them for 3-yard quilts. They do it well. It's a fast make. If you've never tried a 3-yard quilt, I suggest you do it. And yes, I partnered with them this year, and I had a book debut, and that is amazing. I could not be more excited about that. But they they get it. And so my book was different because my book did 3-yard quilts with curves, and this was the first time that they've done that, and that was fun. However, right after that, they debuted panels. So they have 3-yard quilts that will work with panels of a certain size. I want to see they did 5 patterns, and now they've got something else coming right in the very beginning of the year that's different. And I can't wait for you guys to check that out. Also, they jumped exponentially on their channel. I want to say they jumped almost 50,000 subscribers, which is insane. They are blowing up, and I'm so excited to have partnered with them. I'm excited to have an ongoing relationship with them. You guys will see what I do with their stuff coming up in 2025, and I can't wait to show you guys. So keep an eye, because this video is going to drop, and then like a week later, you guys are going to be like, whoa, this is different. So keep an eye out. 3-yard quilts, Fabric Cafe. It's a thing. Again, they've got some stuff coming. So stay tuned. Number 8. I think this is a huge deal. Our top quiltress, YouTube entrepreneur, all the things, Jenny Doan, has decided to step away from being the face of Missouri Star. For the next 2 years, she's going to go on ahead and do a mission in Africa, which is amazing. We cannot not talk about that. That's going to be a big change for Missouri Star. She's not the owner of the company. She's the face of the company. She's who we see. She's the one who's out. She's the one who's talking to us. Yes, her kids, I want to say her oldest son and whatnot, have the company. But this is going to be a major change for them. So I'm assuming we'll see more Natalie, more Misty, and it will continue to do what it does. It has acquired several companies behind the scenes, and I don't know if you guys know all the companies that they have been acquiring, but I want to say they've got like yarn.com. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But what I do know is that Robert Kaufman, the Kona people, found themselves in a situation where they needed some help, and Missouri Star came in and bailed them out and helped them. That shook us up at the end of the year. I never would have thought people would have cared as much as they do about Missouri Star now partnering with Robert Kaufman. We need Kona, guys. You know, I understand everybody's point of view, because people have had some really good arguments about why they are for or why they are against that. But I am a girl who uses Kona cotton to sew. So, I mean, they have a vast array of colors, and they are easy to get to. Most of the quilt stores around me, that's what they carry. And so until they start carrying other brands, that's kind of what I am, that's what I'm going to be using. Not to mention Robert Kaufman is literally my neighbor. So there's that too. But they bailed them out, and it was a big deal. But also Missouri Star losing Jenny Doan for the next couple of years is a big deal. But she put in her work. She did what she needed to do. She helped her kids get settled. And so now, probably one of the greatest quilt companies that the world has ever seen, their face will now be doing something different. And so we could not mention that. But congratulations to Jenny Doan, who gets to step away and do something that she's really been called to do and serve in Africa. So yay! Next up, something that we have to talk about. Let's talk about the quilts that won Best in Show for the big shows that we try to go to. Now, the big shows for me are going to be Paducah, Houston, and QuiltCon. And I think we should talk about them. I think we should just take a moment and look at them so that next year we can look at those. And the year after that, we can look at those and kind of see what the trends really look like. I think this is really interesting, because the first one that I want to talk about is by Xin Jing of Beijing, China, and it was called Still Life. What's interesting is that it won Houston Best in Show, but it was like this big. It was a little guy. It was like 18 by 17, and I think that, I don't know, I think that's something that should be noted, is the size of the quilt that took away the $12,500 prize. It was this big. It was amazing. If you would like to see it, I have video of it. You have video of me seeing it for the first time at Houston. It's cute. It's cool. It's intense. It's amazing. I think it should have won. But it was neat to see something so different win. A lot of thread work there. Lots and lots and lots of machine work on that quilt. But it was different, and I loved it, and I'm happy that I got a chance to see it in person. The second one is Serenity by Molly Hamilton McNally. I didn't know that Paducah's grand prize was $20,000. That's a very nice prize. I really enjoyed this quilt. I didn't get a chance to see it in person. I didn't make it to Paducah this year, but I did get a chance to see it, and it's a beautiful red quilt. It's got like, I wouldn't call it red work, but it is it's red. It's red and cream, and it has some beautiful birds on it. The quilting is exquisite. I suggest you guys go ahead and check that quilt out too. Next year, I'm hoping to be at Paducah, so then we can see the best in show at Paducah together, but I think it was exquisite. I was sitting there oohing and awing while my mother was walking. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just saw the quilt, and it's definitely an ooh and ah kind of quilt. Last quilt I want to talk about is Jenny Robinson. She did the quilt at QuiltCon. It was a bright yellow quilt that had silhouettes of items, and I want to say the subject matter, if my mind serves me correctly, was about things that they could grab in a classroom if they had to use them as a weapon for an intruder, which QuiltCon has a lot of political statement quilts. It's kind of a staple in what they do, and this one just happened to have won this year. And it was an interesting shape. It was very Mac shaped, like it was a rectangle. It wasn't a large rectangle. It was very, very different with some very simple quilting that went through it. It was really about the message, I think, with that one. And that took home the $10,000 Best in Show prize. Of course, I could talk about all the ones that won prizes in general and all the shows, but we would be here forever. So I just wanted to name those. I wanted to take a look at them, and then we can start to compare as we go on our quilting journey. One more that I want to show is the Best in Show for Road to California, which has a very, very specific style to it. Lots and lots and lots of tiny, tiny, tiny piecing. Road to California is in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait to see which wins this year. You know, what's the style going to be of the winner this year? The last one was exquisite. If you'd like to see it, please check out my Road to California video. I think you will enjoy it. Lastly, H&H. H&H is an industry professional convention, but I feel like if we just hold on for a while, we might see them open up to the public. I think it's amazing because they include like other textiles, like the yarn industry too. It's kind of like a textile convention, and they nail it. It's got a young, energetic vibe to it. The speakers were just on point about what's happening right now. I think H&H is special. H&H decided to do its own award show, and they gifted 5 different awards. I want to say they call them like the Golden Scissor Awards, and the categories were Emerging Leader, Innovation, Sustainability, Social Impact, and Lifetime Achievement. And so I just want to run through who won what this year, which was really cool. In the Emerging Leader, it was Elizabeth Okeyete Antuji. I'm not sure how to say that. She was making a difference in Nigeria. I want to say she was teaching people to knit. Innovation were 2 co-founders who came up with the organization that does the Loose Ends project. So they match people with people who can finish their projects. We talked about that. For the Sustainability Award, the winner was Allie Pete. She's a yarn dyer who's really figured out how to make her stuff sustainable with some unique ways. Again, you can look all this stuff up. I just want to throw it out there because this is interesting. Social Impact is Allison Allen, the organizer of the Peaceful Protest Quilt Exhibit, which features 36 quilted textiles of protest art. And then the Lifetime Achievement Award went to Warren Wheelock, who I want to say was a knitter, and he had a knitting company, and he was promoting knitting all over the world. I think people are going to be really trying to get these scissors in the future. I think it's really cool that they figured out a way to celebrate us, you know, celebrate people who are in the textiles and doing different things and keeping us abreast of what's going on. I hope you guys have enjoyed the top 10 things that I found in 2024, and I really look forward to all the things that we'll be doing in 2025. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me in the comment section what you think was a big deal in 2024 if I missed anything. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.